Hello, I'm Chris. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change gear, and a bit later, I'll show you when to change. To change gear, off gas, clutch down, change gear, clutch up gently all the way, and back on the gas pedal. The diagram on top of the gear lever shows you where the gears are positioned. The letter R is for reverse gear, and it can be in a different place depending on the car. I have to lift a metal collar to select reverse, so I won't be able to put it in reverse by accident. Memorize this diagram in your car, and remember where the gears are positioned, because when you're driving, looking down at it will be distracting. At the moment, the gear lever is in neutral, which means it's not in any gear. It's just below third and above fourth. If I move it left or right, the gear lever springs back to neutral. This will be important to remember when changing gear. It's well worth practicing while you're stationary and the engine's off to get used to where each gear is. After a bit of practice, try changing gear without looking down at it. Let's go through all the gears. Neutral to first, palm facing away from you, push left and forward. When you change from first to second, have slight pressure to the left on the gear lever to prevent it from going into fourth. Don't forget, the spring is trying to move it back to neutral, which you don't want right now. Having your palm facing to the left will make it easier. Second to third, palm facing to the right, push the gear lever forward slightly, let it spring to neutral, and then forward to third. Don't grip the gear lever too tightly. Push forward gently, allow it to spring to neutral, and then forward to third. Your hand position makes it easier to change gear. Straight back for fourth, push forward slightly to neutral, to the right, and forward to fifth gear. To change to sixth, have slight pressure to the right as you move it back to the right. Changing down to fifth, slight pressure to the right and forward to fifth. Back slightly, let it spring to neutral, and straight back to fourth. Push straight forward for third. To make the next gear change easier, position your hand so that your palm is facing left, away from you. Have slight pressure to the left as you move it back a little to neutral, then left and back for second. Push to the left and forward for first. Push back slightly to let it spring to neutral. Now you know how to change gear. Let's have a look at when to change gear. When to change gear can vary depending on the car, whether you're driving up or downhill or a flat road, and also how much weight is in your car. As a general rule, when your car increases speed, you'll also have to change up through the gears, as you can only get so much speed out of each gear. It's not precise, but depending on how fast you want to accelerate, in this car on a flat road, you change up to second gear roughly at about 10 miles per hour. Again, depending on how fast you want to accelerate, change up to third gear at about 20 miles per hour. But don't forget, it's not precise, and it's best to get used to the sound of the engine rather than looking at the dials. When the engine gets louder and sounds like it's working a bit too hard, change gear. The louder it gets, the more fuel it uses. The lower gears provide the most pulling power, so if you're joining a fast, busy road, or a motorway for example, and need more acceleration, then you'll probably change gear later at slightly faster speeds. But don't accelerate for too long or too harshly, or you could lose control, use more fuel, and it could be bad for your engine. When driving up steep hills, you should build up momentum and change up gear at a higher speed than you would on a flat road. If you don't, then gravity will slow the car down quickly and make it struggle. You'd normally move off in first gear as it provides the most pulling power. Also for speeds below 10 miles per hour and driving up or down very steep hills. It's easier to maneuver the car in low gears at slow speeds. but you can't drive very fast in first, whereas 6th gear provides the fastest speeds, but the least pulling power. Try moving off in a high gear, and the car will stall, and you'll have to restart the engine. You'd normally change to a lower gear after you've slowed down. As a rough guide, if you've reduced your speed below 20 miles per hour, you will need 2nd, and if you've slowed down to a walking speed, you'll need 1st. But never force the gear lever. You'll also have to change to a lower gear if you need more power from the engine. For example, if you're driving up a steep hill and the car isn't responding to you pressing the gas, making a low rumbling sound, then change down. You can also change to a lower gear if you need extra acceleration to overtake safely. Let's try changing up to 4th and 5th at this speed. As you can see, it's much harder to accelerate. The gas pedal is less responsive. Changing down gears when you're driving too fast for that gear can make the car jerk a little. Have a look at our other video for some tips on how to change gears smoothly. Driving in low gears when going down steep hills keeps the car slower, and you don't have to brake as much than if you were in a higher gear. I'll change up to 3rd, and you can see how much it increases the speed. There's certain situations where you can block gear change, which is basically skipping gears. You don't have to change 3rd to 2nd to 1st, but change straight to 1st. For example, you can slow down in 3rd gear below 10 miles per hour and change straight to 1st gear. Slow down to the speed you need, then change to an appropriate gear. You can stop in any gear, but remember to move off in 1st. Although you can move off down a steep hill in 2nd. If the car wheel spins when moving off in snow, then you could try moving off in 2nd. To help you, let's move off again, and I'll talk you through some gear changes. So, clutch down, select 1st, set the gas, find the biting point, feet still, check mirrors, blind spot check over my right shoulder, signal if necessary, parking brake down, feet still for a couple of seconds, cancel the signal, slowly raise the clutch with a bit more gas. Already at this speed, the car wants 2nd gear. It even tells me on the dashboard. To change gear, off gas, clutch down, change to 2nd gear, clutch up gently all the way and back on the gas pedal. As I build up speed, the engine starts to get noisy again, and it sounds like it's working too hard, so I'll have to change up to 3rd gear. Off gas, clutch down, change to 3rd, clutch up gently, and back on the gas pedal. Pulling up on the left, check mirrors, signal if anyone would benefit, off gas, light braking, then clutch down. Feet still. Parking brake on, neutral, come off the pedals, and cancel the signal. I stopped in 3rd gear, which was okay. I didn't need to change to 1st, as I was stopping, and didn't need to get ready to go again. To change from 3rd to neutral, just move the gear lever back slightly, but don't move it too hard or you'll select 4th. Don't forget, you can check it's in neutral by moving the gear lever left or right, and it should move freely. I'm going to turn left into a side road. I've got priority for this. At the moment, I'm in 3rd gear, but I will need to slow down before turning to about 10 to 15 miles per hour, as I don't know what might be in that road. After I've slowed down, I will then change down to 2nd, as I've gone below 20 miles per hour, making sure that I've released the clutch before turning so that I'm not coasting. If I turn in third, then it feels a bit juddery and not right. Now it's harder to accelerate. For more driving tips, have a look at our free Learning to Drive modules on our website. There's a link in the description. It's totally free and you don't even need to register. Thanks a lot for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if it was useful and subscribe if you haven't already. As usual, keep safe on the road and bye for now.